There is shocking news concerning the Brock Lesnar versus Roman Reigns match that was supposed to take place at the Crown Jewel pay-per-view in October. So as we all know, Brock Lesnar made his return to WWE at the SummerSlam pay-per-view and then went face-to-face with Roman Reigns. And fans figured, okay, this means that there's going to be a Roman Reigns versus Brock Lesnar match in the very near future. And that was the plan going into SummerSlam. But now it seems that plans have unfortunately changed when it comes to Brock Lesnar wrestling Roman Reigns. So here's what we know right now. There is a late-breaking rumor that suggests that Brock Lesnar has been unable to come to terms with a contract with WWE. Here's what we know. Okay, so Brock Lesnar, he had been gone from WWE. WWE had been trying to get him back for a long time, but his demands were just too great. WWE basically said, we don't want to pay you that much. You have to do all these different dates, show up on Friday SmackDown every week, wrestle at several pay-per-views, and Brock just didn't want to do that. He wanted the smallest part-time contract that WWE would ever have to sign a wrestler to. Supposedly, contract negotiations between Lesnar and WWE were going down to the wire prior to SummerSlam. And WWE wanted committed dates for Brock Lesnar to show up on WWE programming. Brock Lesnar only wanted to wrestle twice a year, and he only wanted to show up, I think it's 3 or 4 SmackDowns a year. And WWE said, well, that's just not enough. We need you to wrestle at least 4 pay-per-views and show up on at least 12 SmackDowns. And Brock Lesnar's agent and WWE and Vince McMahon were unable to come to a long-term contract prior to SummerSlam. So Vince McMahon, he wanted Brock Lesnar to show up on the pay-per-view to go face-to-face with Roman, and he basically said, okay, we can't come to a contract agreement, but I will pay Brock Lesnar a one-time fee just to show up at SummerSlam, and hopefully we can figure out the long-term contract after SummerSlam. Well, the latest rumor points to the possibility that contract talks between Brock Lesnar and WWE have broken down and they are no longer talking, that Brock Lesnar wanted a certain amount of money and a certain amount of dates in WWE, and WWE wanted to give him much less and wanted him to show up more on WWE programming. So because of this, it is now rumored that the Brock Lesnar versus Roman Reigns match at Crown Jewel has been canceled for now. So right now the plan is, because Brock Lesnar versus Roman is now canceled, WWE is now going to pivot to Roman Reigns versus Seth Rollins at the October Crown Jewel pay-per-view. And for now, Brock Lesnar is out of WWE. So there's another story that is breaking right this moment, and this is some very troubling news, some very sad news really for fans of Becky Lynch and her dominance in WWE. So, as we all know, Becky Lynch, prior to leaving WWE for a time, while she was pregnant and gave birth to her and Seth Rollins' daughter, Rue, she was the top star, the top babyface in the company. And now that she's back, she is once again thought of as, okay, the top babyface in the company, the most popular wrestler. I think the majority of wrestling fans, not just WWE fans, they respect and love Becky Lynch, which is why this news is very hard to take, and it's actually very sad. And that's the news that WWE is now planning to turn Becky Lynch heel. And they are hoping that when Becky Lynch does turn heel, which is going to be in the next few days or weeks, people will start to dislike her so much that they will begin siding with and cheering for Bianca Belair, because the current plan is to have Becky Lynch begin a long-term feud with Bianca Belair. And turning heel is actually Becky Lynch's idea. She said, okay, I want to come back, but I want to come back as a heel. I don't want to be a babyface. I don't want to be a beloved babyface. I want to be a heel. And WWE thought, okay, well, you mean just like you don't take any guff and you just run through opponents, but crowds still cheer you. And she said, no, I want to be a heel who talks bad about fans. I want to talk bad about the town that I'm in, bad about the sports teams. I want to, call fans out in the crowd names. I want to demean and embarrass fans and my opponents. And I want to be a true heel. I want people to dislike me so much that when I come out to the arena, they boo me like crazy. And WWE at first, they were like, we can't do this. You're our #1 star. We can't do this. And then she said, oh, I'm not coming back unless you do this, unless you make me into a true heel. And WWE had no choice. They had to give in to her demands. And she will now, very soon, turn full heel. And WWE is going to try and capitalize on Becky Lynch becoming a heel and feuding with Bianca Belair. And they hope that the huge popularity that Becky Lynch has had over the past few years will transfer over to Bianca Belair. And they hope that fans will start disliking Becky so much that they say, we can't support this person who talks bad about us, bad about our town, who attacks people with no remorse. We're going to boo her, and we're going to cheer for Bianca Belair. And WWE is now hoping Becky turning heel will make Bianca Belair into an even bigger star, bigger babyface than Becky Lynch ever was. WWE is going to try and capitalize on Becky Lynch's decision to turn heel. The question is, will fans accept Becky Lynch as a true heel who talks bad about them and does very mean and down and dirty things to her opponents? But we have to wait and see what happens. Maybe this will be such an entertaining part of Becky's career. Even though we boo her, we can't wait to see what she does next. And this will actually make her into a even bigger star in WWE and have her become, as popular as The Rock was, Steve Austin, because she's already the biggest star in WWE, but maybe she'll get that huge mainstream popularity that those stars had back in the day. So go ahead and give me your thoughts about today's news stories. Leave a comment below and tell me what you think about the news that Becky Lynch is turning heel and the rumor that the match between Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns at Crown Jewel has been canceled. Go ahead and leave a comment below and give me your thoughts, and we'll see you next time here on Wrestling News Now. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel, and be sure to click the bell notification so you are notified when we release our next video.